Welcome back everyone for a beginning of the end, Cobra Kai, Season 6, Part 3, Watch Party! On Christmas Eve 2024, my life changed forever. In a long-planned proposal of true love, I dropped to my knees in joy and excitement. The Season 6, Part 3 date announcement trailer dropped. Holy fucking shit, that was awesome! Now, the trailer is short. It doesn't give much about what is to come, but there are some very important glimpses we can make out. Furthermore, Netflix released some early promotional photos that tell a lot more. So while we know it's only 5 episodes, and they're certainly keeping most of it close to the chest, there are some important things we can put together. Now, the trailer features a voiceover from Billy and Ralph leading up to Part 3. Scenes from the movies and then the series play over the snake skin of a cobra. It creates a cool effect and let you know this show is still Cobra Kai, not Miyagi-Do. In fact, Daniel even says,
"But Cobra Kai never dies."
Now, as far as the news scenes, it appears most of it revolves around the Sakai Taikai. The first is Hawk embracing his binary bro Dimitri. It's pretty straightforward. It's worth noting that Moon is here with her man, the Hawk, while Yasmin is nowhere to be seen. This leads you to realize Yasmin was probably serious when she dropped Dimitri. He messed up big time. He had his dream girl, and the very moment another girl came up and gave him attention, he dropped everything and called her mi amor. The part that is real about that is just because someone is smart, so smart he gets into MIT, doesn't mean he understands the slightest thing about people. But that's another video, which I made, by the way. As for right here, he is excited to see Hawk again. I tend to suspect this is a bit of a reunion. Maybe they haven't seen each other in a while. That sort of all makes sense. I've long speculated there will be some sort of gap or time jump going into Part 3. The evidence is straightforward. Basically, you're seeing them fight at the Sakai Taikai, and it's clearly not Barcelona. In fact, it is the All Valley Sports Arena, based on some of the images we have. So that tells us a lot. Basically, we know right off the top that the brawl in Barcelona was the end of that tournament. They're not going to continue after Quan fell on his own knife. So then, what is this tournament? Is this the next Sakai Taikai or a continuation of the last one? I believe this fight here is a continuation of the last tournament. In fact, Robbie fighting Axel is very likely a continuation of their fight that was interrupted. They're picking back up where they left off. There must be a winner and the tournament must close out. Now, as they are in Los Angeles or the Valley, it obviously must be taking place later. They didn't just pack up the whole tournament, move to America, and pick up the next week. There has to be some sort of time gap. Another big clue for this is the Hawk and Dimitri embrace. If you look in the background, you see martial artists and stuff. It looks like they're meeting at the Sakai Taikai, which would imply they hadn't seen each other in a while. Is this the start of the next tournament? Like 2 years have gone by? Now, I suppose it's possible they're using the off year to complete the unfinished tournament. But then if they were only completing the unfinished tournament, does it make sense for all the dojos to show up? I'm really unsure about that. Either way, there's definitely some sort of time jump. Cobra Kai is also still competing. We clearly see Tori stepping out onto the mat to fight. Now with Quan dead, who's gonna be the Cobra Kai male captain? Yoon? No one? Is Tori just fighting for female champion on her own, and the rest of Cobra Kai's not there? It's not really clear. There's popular theories that Miguel steps up as the Cobra Kai captain, since the rules apparently allow for people to change dojos. That could be, but some images show Miguel clearly with Miyagi-Do. However, Terry Silver's line to Kenny about letting fighters change dojos is clearly establishing the rules and plot potential for this finale. Not to mention, we clearly have a rivalry between Axel and Miguel. I mean, it's not much, but Axel does not like that Miguel has been getting it with Sam for a couple of years now, and all he gets is sand and disrespect from his co-captain. I'm not actually sure how he figured out Sam and Miguel were dating. She never told him. Maybe he looked her up on Instagram or something. Either way, perhaps they fight for the love of Sam, or at least that is what Axel is thinking. Otherwise, while Axel and Zara are there, the Irish captains have changed. Is it possible the boisterous fight lady got kicked out for helping start the brawl? Perhaps. There is another potential clue about a Cobra Kai switchover. It is this shot. Now, with all the shots on the snake, it can be easy to overlook. I'm not sure if this shot ever appeared in the movies or show before. It's a fresh look at the traditional Cobra Kai logo. It's not the chrome logo of the show itself. It's also obviously not the Korean logo. It's the original traditional logo, except the head is glowing. Now, the color appears to be similar to the light on the snake skin, but we've never quite seen this logo look like this. It's pretty badass if you just admire it. This all implies a return to the traditional logo. Now, from the images, we also have Terry Silver with the Iron Dragons. He's clearly still in good health. That is tricky because Thomas Ian Griffith said in an interview that he's sick and dying. So if there's a time jump, what is going on? Terry Silver has the best terminal illness ever because you wouldn't even know it. He's still strong and kicking. Otherwise, his deal with Sensei Wolf is still on. Silver wants revenge. He wants them humiliated on the world stage. These three are out to do it. Now, there are stupid theories that if and when the Iron Dragons lose, Terry Silver pulls out a bomb and blows up the All Valley Arena. Well, let's ask a simple question. Does Terry Silver look like he's stashing a bomb here in his jacket? A bomb so big it would blow up the All Valley Arena? No, I don't think so either. Plus, Silver is convinced the Iron Dragons are gonna win. They're way ahead and have the top fighters in the world. He's not making a contingency plan. Hell, he's not even taking an insurance policy this time. He is out to win outright and humiliate those who humiliated him. This is one of the oddest theories I've heard. Remember, just because someone says it's a leak doesn't mean it's an actual leak. There's also a picture of Johnny and Miguel in front of the empty store location of the Cobra Kai dojo. It's very reminiscent of Johnny's story back from season 1. Except here they have both grown. Johnny went from a bachelor, deadbeat father, karate street fighter who drinks too many beers, who's trying to recapture his high school glory, to a seasoned sensei of a world-caliber dojo who's engaged with a baby on the way. Meanwhile, Miguel went from bullied new kid in school to top-tier fighter in the world. This is likely the moment where Johnny decides to reopen his Cobra Kai dojo. There's really no other point to be at this place. It'll be grand and Miguel can aid him as a co-sensei. But first, they must win the Sakai Taikai. The other key picture is Kreese talking to Sensei Kim back at her Korean dojang. This clearly takes place shortly after the events of episode 10. Kreese is brewed from his fight with Silver. They obviously went back to Korea to explain the death of Kwon. Now, I tend to think Grandmaster Kim Sun-young will be somewhat nonchalant about the whole affair. In his mind, death is a natural outcome to fighting, and if Kwon died, it was because he was weak. It's for the best that the weak die to make way for the strong. Cobra Kai didn't lose the tournament didn't complete, so it's important to recognize they're still in it. Now, if they return to the valley is unclear. We see Tori in the gi competing, but we don't see any of the others. I'm not fully sure what to make of that. Their banner is there as well, so they're still involved. Still, it will definitely be a key scene, and obviously this is well before any sort of time jump. In fact, this could be one of the first scenes of episode 11, as it is directly dealing with the fallout from episode 10. As for Kreese, I wouldn't say he looks defeated, but he also doesn't look as determined as we've seen him before. He's unsure of the current situation. What will they do next? He doesn't know. The final picture is spectacular. Daniel and Johnny doing the crane kick on some stumps at the beach. What an iconic image. It's obviously very reminiscent of Mr. Miyagi on the stump in the original movie, and then of course Daniel training on it as well. I suspect this is part of the final training montage. Now, what the big fight will be is still a guess. Could this be a fight at the Sakai Taikai? Rumors are Johnny, as the sensei of his new Cobra Kai, gets a fight in. That would be great. He does have a beef, or steak, with Sensei Wolf. Now, other than the legacy aspect, is there a direct meaning to Johnny doing the crane kick? I think it shows Johnny fulfilling himself. That means he's not going to literally do the crane kick in a fight, but he's rounding out himself. He's learning the balance that had been missing in his life for almost 40 years. He lost balance on that fateful night and has been lopsided ever since. Maybe Daniel can help him regain it. Now, will there be a similar situation with Daniel? I suspect so, though it will involve Miyagi in some ways. He is learning about Miyagi, learning that the man he met in 1984 had lived through a lot and had already gone through changes. I'll say more about this, so make sure you're subscribed. You don't want to miss anything going into the finale. Have a great day. I'll see you at the next watch party.